Hey guys, Mr. Happy here, week 5. So, in case you're wondering, what the hell is he going to talk about this week? He's talked about so much. I literally have one thing to talk about, with a few other small details. There's not a lot of information going around because Phase 3 has been pushed back, and I've been through so much. This series was originally expected to kind of dive into Phase 3 so that the follow-up information would be coming directly from Phase 3 as opposed to just things that we're hearing about, things that, are being promised may not be exactly delivered in the way they promised, so it may be misinformation at some point. But we don't know that because we can't test it yet. Phase 3, June. What can I do? A couple more weeks. That's all I can do is wait. Hopefully get some early access to it, but who knows? We don't know how that early access thing is going to work exactly. So, what am I talking about? Only things I still think of to talk about is Materia. Materia, yes, my ear itched. Materia is something that in the first game was very controversial. People who never raided may not have had the raid gear, and by raid I mean 8-man party, but they still could have how do you want to say? The best gear stat wise. Reason being is you could keep crafting like a body piece, stick materia in it, and you keep trying to like quadruple socket it or 5 socket, triple socket, and you could get gear that had like more strength than a raid piece, or you could get more int than a raid piece, and you would kind of just be doing it to say, hey, okay, maybe it has that one piece I need, like an earring or something. Maybe it has that one piece, but for the most part, you did that to get into the raids. And I knew a lot of people who said you're gonna need like you're gonna need double melded materia before we'll take you. And I'm like, what the hell? It's a first level 50 piece of content. How am I gonna need that kind of stuff? He's like, all right, well you could do this, this, and this, but you're gonna need some double socket materia here. I'm just who knows? Uh, that's how it started in 1.0, and it kind of kept the market going because you could break crafted gear. So crafters had something that they always needed to be doing is make gear. They could always make money off of it because people always needed it, and that's still going to be the case. However, when you forbidden something in 1.0, you lost it forever. If you forbidden materia it and you failed it, it was gone. Gear, the materia, all gone. In 2.0, materia is not going to work nearly the same way. You can't just craft something, stick maybe get lucky, stick 3 or 4 materials in it, and never worry about replacing that piece. How it works in a realm born is this: you grind to get the spirit bind. Obviously, that couldn't have changed at all. I don't know how they would have changed it because that part of the materia system hasn't been discussed how you actually obtain it, but it also hasn't been discussed that it's changed. So we can only assume that that much is the same. However, the way that materia works now, according to Yoshi P, is that it works on getting you from a piece of content to the next piece of content in a comfortable way. So materia melding is an important piece of, you know, making sure that your gear is adequate or more than adequate enough for you to actually work on the next piece of content. What does that mean? Well, since materia can no longer break the piece of gear, the forbidden materia, but it can't break the materia, um, you can put it into raid gear now. You could not do that in 1.0. That was why it was such a big deal. You could not put materia into dungeon and raid. You couldn't do it. So that's why you could get better pieces of gear from crafting because you could put a lot of materia into it. You could do it with dungeon and raid gear. Um, but now how it works is, let's say you get your level 50. That's it. You're level 50 and you have no gear. What do? Get some crafted gear. So first thing, you get some crafted gear that's got some stats that'll be more helpful to you at 50. What do you do with that crafted gear? You grind with it, you spirit bind it, you turn it into material, you buy more crafted gear, and you socket it in. You've now got 1 socket in each piece. Let's just assume you were that lucky and got all the material you needed in one run, because it's definitely not the case. You kind of want to buy 2 or 3 sets before you go out grinding. And what would happen next? You go into a dungeon. You do the dungeon, you do the level 50 dungeon, and what is it? You get a body piece. What do you first? The first thing you do, you break the body piece that you probably spirit bonded already, and you take the materia that you got and you put it in that body piece. Then you get legs, you get feet, you get my nose itches. I can't even talk right now. You get legs, you get pants. What the fuck? You get legs and pants. It's the same thing. You get pants, boots, gloves, helmet, hat, whatever you want to have. You stick materia in all that gear. What does that do? That gets you to the next piece of content. That is all materia does now. It gets you from 50 to dungeons to raids to Bahamut to fates to whatever you need it to. But it doesn't ever replace the gear before you even get there like it did in 1.0. And that's a big thing because that was really stupid. It kind of made, other than the hunt for the relic quest, it kind of made almost every piece of gear kind of obsolete. There were a few select pieces that you almost always would never get enough materia into a piece of gear to replace it. Like you'd need to quadruple socket like strength gear or something to replace one piece. I remember that. And maybe quadruple socket int to beat another piece. Not going to happen like that anymore. If you get 5 pieces into your best raid gear, it might be better than the next tier's raid piece without any materia. But if you can get 5 materia into that, it's going to clearly be better. And there's going to be no reason to not try that. You've already done. What are you going to be like? Oh, mine's already better. Why am I going to put materia into the next one? Because that one will be even better if you succeed, basically. And that's sadly all I have to talk about this week. That's why I kind of drew it out. There's not a lot of information. And to be honest, unless you guys ask really good questions, there may not be a week 8. It may be on hold until Final Fantasy 14 actually goes into non-disclosure agreement beta, and I can provide more information, more videos, a lot of information, a lot of videos, opinion-based things, facts, showing off the game, and but until then, there isn't any more information. Unless you guys have a question and you think there is more information, ask questions. Ask questions. I'm telling you to ask questions. I want you to ask questions. I want to answer your questions. Answer them in the comments, and then I'll answer them in the videos. So that way I could share the information with the rest of the world. By the way, the beard is not staying. That thing, it is getting the fuck out of here. All right. So, only other thing I could think to share is that there was a small comment about monks in an interview, and they said that they would be able to chain their combos endlessly, whatever the hell that means, to increase their DPS, but they would come with risks. So Monk is going to have some sort of risk reward system on combo chaining, if that's still the case. I also read somewhere that the UI has gone over a complete overhaul for Phase 3, and also that the battle system is going over a major overhaul for Phase 3 as well. Not just the numbers, but probably the way that certain abilities work and and their names and the way they interact with each other, which is good. Very good. Glad they're taking the time. I'm glad that it's going to take them 2 or 3 more weeks to get me into the game because it means that they took more time than they said they were going to fix things because people's feedback was so valuable. I appreciate that. I'm glad they're taking extra weeks, but please, dying over here. I'm going through withdrawals. Anyway, thank you for watching week 7. I apologize for not having more information, but ask questions. And if you would like to, you know, like video or subscribe or do something, share it. Also, if you're looking forward to Final Fantasy 14 streaming, please follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/MrHappy127. It will be in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Please, again, please ask questions, and I will see you in my other videos. Hopefully these aren't the only videos you're watching. Some other stuff out there. So have a good weekend, guys. I'll talk to you later.